Jackson takes off, has the first down, and more. Lamar Jackson tripped up by Thompson, and a huge gain.
And that is the sound that we heard all game. Welcome back to another episode of Craven Some Raven, and in this episode I'm going to be doing my breakdown, my reactions, my thoughts about this stellar, awesome statement game that the Ravens just put up against Seattle. Now that clip I just had, it was just one of many times during that game where it was a third down, 3rd and 5, all the way to 3rd and 15, where Lamar Jackson, it's called a pass and he decides to run it because put the team on my back though, and let me go get this, because he did. And that was just a sound, just one of the plays where it's, well, there goes Lamar, running again. And is it sustainable? Can they continue to do this? What happens when they play a good team? Well, we've been doing it for how many weeks now? That was like week 7. Lamar's been running every single game. So, sustainability, check. Have we played a good team? Well, we played the Kansas City Chiefs and we played the Seattle Seahawks, both of which maybe not known for the defense, but they put up points. Now, obviously, we got a tough game coming up in 2 weeks. We do have the bye, but I just want to focus on this game. I'm kind of already getting off track. This was just a huge statement win by the Ravens. A statement by the team to say, hey, we can beat a good team. No one gave us a shot to win this game. Everyone's picking the Seahawks. Okay, let's see what we can do. Let's see if this weird way that we play compared to other NFL teams, let's see if it'll work up against a team like the Seahawks. A team that was getting a lot of buzz coming up to this game. Russell Wilson, MVP discussion, right? And then we go in there, ain't no MVP. Lamar is the MVP, right? So it was a statement game for that. It was a statement game for Lamar, right? Putting up another 100 yards, really. Putting up a bill, and also through the air, just like 140 yards. Quite a few drops there. It was a rainy game, so really this game was going to be down and dirty and nasty, and won through the legs of your team, right? Through the running backs and apparently quarterbacks. So that's the kind of game that it was going to be, and that's the style that the Ravens like to play. And so the Seahawks were forced to play our style of football, even though I think both of these teams are very similar. But, it was just a huge statement by our offense. And then another statement, Marcus Peters, I deserve to be in this league. Quit trading me. Let me be the great corner that I am. Let me go to a system that will fit me, that will help me help you, And he comes in first game, and what does he do? Pick 6. In the predictions part of when I was previewing this game, I wanted to say, Marcus Peters, he comes in and just dominates. It's like, all right, let's be realistic somewhat. I know I always go off the rails, and I'm always all over the place with my predictions. I drink the purple Kool-Aid more than anybody I know in person. I'm drinking that purple Kool-Aid. I'm getting cavities. There's so much sugar in it. I'm bursting through walls. Oh, yeah. I'm drinking that purple Kool-Aid. Oh, yeah. Just kicking through walls. Just pissing everyone off. Oh, yeah. So, you couldn't have predicted Marcus Peters to do this, but he comes in. First game. Ooh, Eric DeCosta. Right player, right DeCosta. EDC. Killing it. Killing the game. Our additions that we've made this year, in-season additions. We got Marcus Peters, already pick 6. If he does nothing the rest of the year, worth it. I think, Kenny Young and a 5th-round draft pick is worth a pick 6 in one game. Right? I think that is worth it. Then you got LJ Fort, who had a great game. I kind of want to break him down a little bit more. Josh Bynes had a great game, not as good as LJ Fort, because LJ Fort, man, there was a play Russell Wilson rolling out to the right at the beginning of the game. I want to say first quarter, maybe even the first drive that they had, and Russell Wilson going out to the right. He had nothing but green grass, but here comes LJ Fort sprinting down the field and makes the one-on-one open field tackle on an elusive quarterback. Russell Wilson ain't no slouch. Now, he's no Lamar Jackson, but he ain't no slouch either. He's no Tom Brady. He's Russell Wilson, the OG of Munchkin quarterbacks. Yeah, and so you also got Josh Bynes. Like I said, these new additions, these guys, starters, and killing it, right? Killing it. And now we have the bye. We're going to be getting healthy. The defense, Jimmy Smith is going to be coming back. I don't know if anybody else is really going to be coming back, but Jimmy Smith is a huge contributor, right? He's a great lockdown corner and give us the ability to sit our corners down. So if we go against a team that loves to pass the ball around, which in the new NFL, that's what they do, we can have a Marcus Peters, a Jimmy Smith, and a Marlon Humphrey all having significant game time plays, significant snappage, I guess. You got some sick snappage there, bro. Some sick snappage. And overall, in this game, I don't want to break it down like this is what we did in this drive. This is what we did in this drive. I just kind of, thoughts and feelings about the game, more wide scope type situations. I want to focus on the game, and I think it's awesome. But also, it's like, what does this win mean for this team, I thought it was going to be a close game. I didn't think it was going to be like this, but I also didn't think that the defense was going to put up 2 touchdowns. Very shocking, right? Marcus Peters with the pick 6 and also Marlon Humphrey. And, Marlon Humphrey, I don't think he had his best game, but he was still putting on a show. He was almost making his own statement. Like, this is why I deserve to be good. Because all the passes that were caught over Marlon Humphrey, he was right there. There was that touchdown pass where he would have gotten the holding, and so he kind of stopped on the play. That wasn't good. That wasn't pretty. Because him and Russell Wilson and Tyler Lockett, they play until the whistle is dead. So Marlon, you got to stick on your man. I don't like seeing that. But every other pass that was kind of caught on Marlon, it was just man. He's right there, dude. I can't ask him to be in better coverage. You just wish his hand was like an inch to the right or to the left to hit the ball, and it's like, damn, you're right freaking there. And you can't be too upset. Sometimes the receivers are going to get one. Tyler Lockett, I think this might have been his worst game, so I'll just take that with what it is. But also at the same time, it was raining, and so people dropped the ball a lot, at least on the Ravens side, and we'll get to that. But continuing with Marlon Humphrey, the edge of our defense, running to the outside, not a good idea. Swing passes, not a good idea. Now, some teams have had success on us, but today, no. The outsides was a no-go. Right? Our defense was playing excellent. So there's a couple plays, actually, where there was one to Tyler Lockett. It was a swing pass. They motion Tyler Lockett before the snap, and kind of like a rainbow motion, I think, or it was just behind the line between Russell Wilson and the line. That's where he was. I can't remember exactly where he was, but he sprints in the motion and continues sprinting to the sideline to catch a swing pass, and he does. Russell Wilson throws on the ball, and it's like, oh shit, here we go. We got Josh Bynes kind of coming down, but then out of nowhere, you see Marlon Humphrey like a lion on a gazelle, nay, a cheetah on a fucking gazelle. He comes in and pops. Oh, it was so beautiful. He pops Tyler Lockett into the 5th dimension. Dude went back in time. Now, it wasn't a vicious blow. It wasn't like, ooh, damn, like everyone. It's just when I saw it, you get a wide receiver going full speed, sprinting, trying to get that edge, and then a cornerback sprinting, and you just see Tyler Lockett, momentum stopped. He just stops and gets drilled out of bounds. And it was a, ooh, Marlo. Ooh, god damn. And there's another one where he had a vicious shot. I thought they were going to call him for a helmet-to-helmet because his helmet did kind of contact that guy. But, coming in and making huge hits. And those are the type of things that cause people to fumble the ball. And he's been good at that. And, continue that with maybe some more punch-outs. Continue with that Marlo punch. Hell yes. Hell to the yes. So he's making a statement. Bro, I'm the biggest hitting cornerback in this league. Pretty lockdown, too. 55 yards to Tyler Lockett. I don't know if that's where it ended at, but I remember seeing that earlier. Now that I think about it, I can look up these stats here. Let's look at some stats, bitch. just do that Tyler Lockett one because I was talking about it. Some stats. Where's all my stats? This is the Ravens stats. Let's go to the Seahawks. Tyler Lockett. That's rushing. So maybe it was a run. I don't know. Receiving. So 5 receptions for 61 yards. So I have Tyler Lockett in one of my fantasy leagues, and that's like the lowest scoring I've ever seen him get. 1 TD, 5 catches, so it's like 6. So he's 12, like 15 points. Maybe I should have started him. But I didn't want to because he's facing the Ravens, and I hate doing that. That's the only reason I hate fantasy, is because sometimes it makes you root in such weird ways about football. And speaking about rooting for football, on Sunday, motherfuckers, you need to listen to what I say. Because I do an episode each and every week where I do game picks. And I've been just waiting for that week where it just feels right. And everything just works the way it's supposed to. And that was this week, folks. That was this week. Because in week 7, as long as the Patriots win, if the Patriots beat the Jets, so, let's just take them out of it because we still don't know. Let me count these off for you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 correct and 1 wrong. I have predicted these motherfucking games, and even minus this week. I'm seeing analysis there. They started putting their records up. How have I picked every single game? And I've seen the records, and I'm ahead of them. Before this week, 15 and 37. After this week, you're telling me like 68 to 38? Come on, son. Killed it. And with my bets, too. I murdered my bets. I only got 2 bets wrong. I bet on, I want to say maybe like 6 or 7 bets. But I only got 2 bets wrong. And one of those was I bet the Raiders to win straight up. I thought the Raiders would win this one. I'll go over this more in another episode. But I'm just so excited. This is such a good weekend of football. God, made some money with my bets, put $70 total down. I'm going to go into the casino and walk out with over $100. So that's some profit right there, it's still a hobby. So for me, $70 is a lot of money, but the way I've been doing it, I've been putting $70 down and I haven't lost more than that. The worst I've done is break even, which in the betting world, that's winning. So, without betting crazy amounts of money, and I've changed my betting philosophy a little bit, definitely been putting bigger bets down, like $10 bets instead of $5 bets, but picking less of these bets, because this week there was a lot of easy bets to make, where they just gave me the numbers. So I've been following this shit. I understand football. My football IQ is, I don't know, but I feel I got a feel for this game. I am in mid-season form. So next time you see an episode coming out that says, hey, this is the Dick Picks or my weekly pick'ems, you should listen and do some learning. Learn what I know. I'm literally the most humble person in the world. No one is as humble as I am. So, yeah, let's just get back to what made this whole week of football so special. And it's because my Ravens, your Ravens, just put the work in on the Seahawks. And I think that score is a little misleading on how dominant the game was. I feel like both teams, the game plan was similar. Run the ball, time of possession, because that's what both of these teams are about, right? Let me see if I can pull up the time of possession for both teams. Total yardage-wise, look, Seahawks, 347. The Ravens, 340. So basically the same. Passing yards, Seahawks, 241. Ravens, 141. But, rushing, kind of reverse. They got 106 yards rushing. Ravens got 199. And I think the rushing, that 106 for the Seahawks, I'm not worried about that because this was a wet and dirty game, that the run game was going to be utilized. And the Seahawks are already a heavy run game. And I'm actually surprised we got 199. I didn't think our run game was as successful. Lamar obviously had a huge game with 100 yards. I guess over 100 yards. So apparently the other running backs combined for like 80-something yards, which, you want to see them do that more. They are the running backs, right? But it's just how dynamic Lamar is. Man, beautiful. Beautiful. And those passing yardage, like the 141, lots and lots of drops. Like I was kind of saying, it was rainy. Mark Andrews, like, are you kidding me? Like 3 drops. 3 drops. But one was a touchdown, another was for a first down, and another one was for another first down. Like, and it was just huge situations. Like, come on, bro. Some good yardage. So there would have been another 30 yards. So it had like 170, right? And Lamar, like in general, he didn't have his best game throwing. There were a few passes that were lower than they were supposed to be, but still hitting the receivers in the hands, right? So it's like, oh, come on. Like, was it a perfect pass? No. Did it hit the receiver in the hands? Yes. And so, case-by-case basis, you can say, oh, they should have caught that. And most of them, I feel, well, receivers, you got to catch that. And speaking of hands, Hayden Hurst, right, our first-round draft pick tight end. Oh, Mark Andrews is the one who's killing it. He's leading the team in yards and all that other shit. But maybe Hayden Hurst doesn't get as open as Mark Andrews does. Maybe. But he sure does have better hands. He catches the shit out of that football. And especially yesterday, with Mark Andrews dropping it left and right, just looking like a rookie, like a scrub. And he's our leading, so Mark Andrews is our leading wide receiver, right? Our leading receiver. So he can't be doing that. And so you got Hayden Hurst out there who was drafted higher, who catches the ball better, maybe doesn't get as open, and maybe Lamar doesn't like to throw to guys who seem covered. And I've talked about this way before, I guess many, many episodes ago, during like draft talks, so a couple of my first episodes, right? But Lamar doesn't like to throw to people who appear covered. And that's kind of like the statement, right? The thesis, as you will. And so if Hayden Hurst appears covered, Lamar Jackson's not going to throw to him. So you're not going to see the numbers. You're not going to see him get highlighted. But anytime he throws to him, it's a catch, right? And I'm sure there's been a drop here and there, and I'm just totally overlooking a whole game footage of stuff, a whole highlight tape of him dropping the ball, right? I'm sure that's what I'm doing. But at the same time, he, I don't even know what I was saying. He catches the ball. That is what he does. So don't want to see him use them more. It's just whenever you win a game, how dynamic Lamar is, how I think deep our team is. Every single time I come away, we need to use this person more. We need to do this more. We need to do this, that, then. We need to spread the ball to all these different people. Like, well, we got the win, so does it even matter? Like, let's just win the game first and then worry about if everyone has a chance, Like, tell by the way I said that it's not a big deal. Like, yeah, I want Hayden Hurst to get the ball more. I want Miles Boykin to get the ball more. I want Willie Snead to get the ball more. But if we get the wins, I don't really care. Stats are secondary. I love seeing these stats. I love when Lamar puts up huge stats because the numbers are what really define an NFL player amongst media members, amongst like fantasy, amongst like the cognoscenti, right? That old word of football. The whole scope of the league. You really are defined by the numbers. Now, obviously, everyone knows the numbers are the whole story, but that is, if Lamar puts up ridiculous numbers, they're always just going to say, look at that, fucking 3,000 yards passing, 1,200 yards rushing. No one's ever done that. Which is awesome. You can say that. And that's just what happens. I don't think it's the whole story. I think the numbers, they're a compliment, and they're a way to really kind of compare different players who are in different situations, try to put them on a level playing field. That's what the stats do. They kind of put you in the same game. But either way, like, the stats don't matter. The only stat that matters is that dub, right? So you go up to the big dub, Washington, go there, take their hearts out, clip their wings. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Like Russell Wilson hasn't thrown an interception. Oh, what was that? Marcus Peters said, oh, what? No interceptions, huh? Okay. That's what's up. But like I started a little bit ago saying, these teams play similar, and I was trying to find the time of possession, and I ended up I don't even know what I was talking about all sorts of other stuff. But wow. The Seattle Seahawks, 58% on third downs. All right, let me do time of possession, okay? Because it was very even to me, and the Seahawks actually won the time of possession, 30 minutes and 6 seconds to 29 and 54 seconds. So literally just a 3-second difference. If we had the ball for 3 seconds more, they would have had it for 3 seconds less, and we would have been even in time of possession. And you could tell because there was that one period in the game where it was, I want to say, the end. It was the end of the second quarter, right? So going into half. So the Seahawks, they're driving. They have a good drive going. They have a long drive going. And so they're driving. They get all the way down to, I want to say, the 15-yard line. And that's when Marcus Peters gets a pick six. So quick turnaround, bing, bang. We didn't get the ball, but the excuse me, the Seahawks, they drive down the whole field, pick six. They get the ball back. They drive down again, and they get far enough and kick the field goal. And so that's 2 possessions without the Ravens getting the ball. Then we go into halftime. And the Seahawks, they get the ball coming out of the half. And luckily, that wasn't such a crazy, I think they ended up punting, but luckily that wasn't a crazy drive because that was 3 drives in a row. I want to say roughly, I wonder if we got this. I wonder if we can actually see drive by drive. All right, so field goal. All right, so interception, field goal. All right, so they had the ball for 6.5 minutes before the half. Then the half comes, and they come back in 2 minutes. So 6, 7, 8. So like 8.5 minutes, which doesn't seem as much, but in real time, in game time, it apparently wasn't much. I thought it would be different, but in actual time, it was a very, very long time. We had to go through 2 drives. How many commercial breaks are in each drive? So 2 drives, then the halftime, and then another drive. And it was like, all right, come on. Can Lamar get the motherfucking ball? So then they get the ball, and they go 3 and out, drop balls yet again, trying to pass it. And it's like, well, let's just keep running the damn ball. And that's what they did. And eventually they went down, and they had, I believe at the time, it was 13-13 still. And they drive down the field. Let me look at see which drive this was, because it was the touchdown. Okay, yeah. So it was an 11-play, 62-yard drive. So the Seahawks, after our 3 and out, they drove down and missed the field goal. So we had pretty good field position. We started on like the 40-something yard line. And that was a drive. It was 13-13, tied up, and we're moving the ball, right? We're looking good on offense. We're spreading the ball around in the run game, throwing a few choice throws, perfect to move the sticks, just converting on third down, left and right, just going. And so we get down, we get stopped. We're inside the 10, I want to say. It's 4th and 2, right? And you guys you watched the game. This is pivotal part. Everyone's talking about this moment because it showed a lot of where Lamar Jackson's at in his game, how passionate he is as a football player. Because it's 4th and 2, they send Justin Tucker out, and Lamar is visibly distraught, right? He wants to score. He wants to go in. And so I saw the clip where it's John Harbaugh saying, "You want to go for it? You want to go for that?" And Lamar's like, "Hell yeah, coach, let's go for it!" Like screaming at him, "Hell yeah, let's go for it!" So Harbs runs off screen, and that's when he calls the timeout. But you see Lamar, pointing. I want to say it was Marshall Yanda. It sounded like it was Marshall Yanda. You couldn't see his face or his number. And Lamar points at him like, "You want to go for it?" And he's Marshall Yanda. "Hell yeah, I want to go for it, bro. Let's fucking go for it." I don't know if you can hear my smile, but I love that shit. They drove down the ball. They had the momentum. They needed to take this game. The safer play, right, was to get the kick. Right? Go up by a score. Or was it? It was still 13-13, right? Oh. What am I doing wrong here? No, yeah, it was 13-13. And yeah, we could have gotten the kick and we would have been up. But to that point, Russell Wilson, they were also just driving down the same way we were. Just slow, methodical, big play here, little plays here. Just long-ass drives that take up so much time. And we were having trouble stopping them. So this is a moment. Lamar is getting crazy heated. And they go ahead and get the first down, not only, and the touchdown. But before even that play, that drive, he was getting hyped, getting excited. There was the play where they didn't get the ball off in time, right? And so Lamar Jackson jumping up in the air, flailing all around, almost looks like he's throwing a temper tantrum. But it's not a, wow, seriously? You're throwing a temper tantrum right now? It's like, no, get fired up. Get angry. You don't want to lose yards, right? This is his drive. This is his time to shine, which is, I'm on Broadway. I've made it. But like this was his drive where he's trying to make a statement, right? Moving the ball. That whole drive was filled with third and conversions by Lamar, just putting the team on his back. And so I love seeing a guy with some feist, with being angry that something didn't go his way, and not in a bratty way. No, it's, hey, you wanted to score, right? And you didn't get it. Be pissed off. You're trying to get the playoff and it doesn't work out. It wasn't bratty. It never seemed like that to me. I don't think anybody ever did. But I love seeing the fireness. So when they so it was like what, 3rd and 15, and he runs it for 13 yards, or 3rd and 15. Yeah, 3rd and 15, and he runs it for 13 yards. It's supposed to be a pass, and he just runs it, takes the team on his back once again, and you're watching it. You're like, God damn, this guy doesn't go down. And it's not like he's getting hit. He is just juking the dickens out of everybody. Everybody on your team. I don't discriminate. You want to get juked. You're getting juked. You're getting juked. You're getting juked. Everybody's getting juked. The Oprah of sauce. He is just throwing sauce at everybody. Look under your chairs because you just got punked out on that field. Okay, I need some water. I'm going to pause this real quick. So it's awesome, right, to see that fieriness from your quarterback, that competitive spirit. Because how many times it's like you'd have to defend Joe Flacco's competitiveness, right? Oh, trust me, he just seems real quiet. He actually is a really good competitor. He's funny. He talks a lot. You shouldn't have to defend somebody that way. You should just know. You can tell. And you can tell Lamar Jackson, he wants to fucking win. And he's got that blazing fire in his eyes. Because those runs, those throws were fire. That shit was fire, son. You're talking sauce, talking some fire, flaming sauce from Taco Bell. It ain't easy keeping it Taco Bleezy. All right, this is getting off the rails, but listen, it's gets me fired up, gets me so excited to see that John Harbaugh also sees this, and he knows what he has in Lamar Jackson, and he knows that when Lamar Jackson has his mind set on, hey, we're gonna fucking get this, he's gonna fucking get it. When he runs, he is the best running back in the league. Yeah, I fucking said it. I used the RB word with Lamar Jackson and saying he's the best, because in all honesty, which running back has better vision? Maybe Christian McCaffrey. Maybe. If you look at the stats, if you look at rushing leaders, which, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and do that. I was looking at it earlier. So go fuck yourself. I'm prepared. So in just yards, right? Lamar Jackson is number 6, right behind Ezekiel Elliott, Nick Chubb, Christian McCaffrey, Leonard Fournette, and Dalvin Cook. Let's list some of these names that are behind him. This is just yards, right? Chris Carson, Josh Jacobs, Marlon Mack, Derrick Henry, Mark Ingram, Carlos Hyde, Philip Lindsay, Matt Breida, Aaron Jones, Frank Gore, Alvin Kamara, Sony Michel, Jordan Howard. You get the point. Even Saquon Barkley, but he's been injured. But you get the point. He's killing it with these runs. And if you're talking, per carry average, who do you think's number one? Who do you think leads the league in average yards per carry? At 6.9, nice! Lamar Jackson with a 69 average. Yeah, get him. Hit him with that 69, boy. But listen, that it should be better, right? Are they accounting for the kneel downs? Because none of these other running backs have to kneel down in a game, right? Sure, they get stopped all the time because they're not Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson don't get stopped, man. Can we have an adjusted average yards per carry? Can we do that? I mean, I'm sure I could go back and check every single number, do the calculations. That takes too goddamn long. Just know that he leads the league in yards per carry. And of course, he's a quarterback. He barely runs, and when he does, it's just wide open. But he runs a lot. He is a true running quarterback. He is a true dual threat, more than I've ever seen. And I've seen Michael Vick. And I'm gonna keep saying it. The more and more Lamar Jackson proves me right, the more I am gonna keep saying it, that Lamar Jackson is better than Michael Vick. And you can go to any episode basically, and I talk about this. But I think there's many reasons as to why. I'm not gonna get into it. But he has proven that he can do it. He runs all the time. I think he runs more than Michael Vick did. Gets hit less than Michael Vick did. Throws better than Michael Vick did. Plays against faster defenses more than Michael Vick did. So it's crazy. These yards, right? Through week 7, so basically halfway through the year, 576 yards rushing. Holy shit, man. Holy shit, son. Shit, man. So yeah, we got a ton of games left, and he's going to continue to do this, right? There's going to be games where he doesn't run for as much. There's games when he's going to have to. This was obviously a rainy, tough game. The receivers were having trouble. Even the run game at times was just non-existent, just not getting enough yards. And, his mismatch ability, his speed, his just awesomeness, really. His MVP caliber play, yes, that's what gets us the win. I don't want us to need to use Lamar Jackson in that way, right? I want us to be able to just, here you go, Mark Ingram, go run for 300 yards. Here you go, Marquise Brown, let's pass for 500 yards, to just have Lamar be able to pass it around and everything's perfect. Woo, yeah, sun's out, rainbows in the sky, birds chirping, and Lamar throws for 500 yards in a game. But that doesn't happen. Our offense, it can work that way. That's what it did in Miami. But we know for a fact when things aren't going as planned, like they always do in the NFL, right? You always have a plan until you get hit in the mouth, right? Isn't that the common phrase? So when we get hit in the mouth, our plan is, all right, Lamar out the back door. Do some QB power. Let's run, Lamar, run. And we know in a bind, that works. And I think what the Ravens should try to do is not only build around that, but make it so we don't have to do that. Improve our passing game to the point where we won't have to necessarily run. Like in a perfect world, we wouldn't have to. Our game plan would consist of us not needing it. But always having that in the trigger is amazing. I think Lamar's running ability will allow us to beat teams we're not supposed to beat. Team building wise, I feel like Seattle may have more talent. I don't know. Like when we play the Patriots in 2 weeks after our bye, the Patriots, I think they have more talent. But that rushing ability with Lamar, that allows us to beat bigger and badder, tougher teams. Maybe not bigger, badder, tougher, but, better, more well-coached. Lamar Jackson is an X factor. When people come to play the Ravens, they have a guy to circle now. How many years have we gone without a guy being circled, right? Was it Ray Rice? And even then, it's just, this is a good running back, watch out for the running back. It wasn't an X factor, shit. We need 2 guys staring at him at all times. It wasn't that, no. Was it? Honestly, I think it was Ed Reed, right? Because towards the end, Ray Lewis, he wasn't an X factor. He's just a motivational leader, still awesome, played well, but not an X factor. It was Ed Reed. Ed Reed was our last guy where the opposing coach who has to play against this guy, right, being Ed Reed, circles him and says, watch out for Ed Reed. He is ball hawk. He's going to take this ball. Even if it looks like he's open, he's not. Ed Reed's there. Just watch yourself. Hide your kids, hide your wife, because Ed Reed intercepting everybody. And so now, with Lamar Jackson, it's the same goddamn thing. And it's a similar story where it's a guy who is one of the best to ever do it at his respective positions for what he does, right? Now, Ed Reed, it's safety. There's really only one way to do it, and that's to hit hard and get interceptions. And so he killed the game at that, and he's one of the best, if not the best, to do it. Now, with the quarterback, with Lamar Jackson, I think he is the best running quarterback to ever do it, if not the best. So, the dynamicy, it's not a word, is it? The dynamicness, I don't even know if that's a word. Yeah, either way, Lamar Jackson is just so dynamic. The Ravens have a guy that's being circled, and he is now, with this game, like I was talking about in my preview, he is getting talked about amongst the national media members as like, man, this guy doing the same thing that I do every goddamn week. I don't know if you're seeing this, but this guy, man, this guy. And it took this type of team, right? It took the Seahawks to do that. Oh, you can do it up against anybody. Oh, they're scrubs. They're fucking NFL teams, which is another goddamn story where it's like they don't give respect to every single team. You beat a team that isn't highly regarded, then whatever. The Cardinals now, they've won 3 in a row. They are now 3-1. When we played them, like, it's just the Cardinals. Seemed like they're pretty good. They're putting up points, putting up hella points, and they're beating teams. But then you can say, who'd they play? And it's just, it's a week-by-week thing, and you can see the story changes so much. Last week, Russell Wilson's the for sure MVP right now. And this week, it's, goddamn, Lamar is one of the best to ever do it running the ball. And I've heard analysis say this. People who, I remember seeing, the first one I saw was Ryan Clark talking about it. And he was a guy that even before the season, during the season, he was saying, this isn't sustainable. Lamar's gonna get hurt. This, that, and the other. And finally, you know what? He watched a Ravens game because they were playing a Seattle. And everyone's like seeing the stats, right? Talking about the stats earlier. Everyone was seeing the stats of how Lamar was doing, right? And seeing these crazy numbers. You're like, all right, I'll watch the highlights. Yeah, he looks good, looking great. And then it's just a common take, like, he's gonna get hurt if he keeps doing this, because they're not watching the games. So you get a good team, a buzzworthy team like the Seahawks, getting a lot of buzz at the time, And so you get a lot of people, well, let's see what Lamar does. And they actually, they watch the game. Who would have thunk that you got to watch the game to talk about a fucking player and be right about him? And really take a look and understand. Because it's like, all of these guys, they're making these statements about Lamar. And it's like, that is just not true. You don't understand the way he plays. And so, I have to talk about it. You can see these different, NFL analysts being knocked down one at a time like it's that gun game at a carnival. Just like, bing, 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 bing. And Lamar is just, shooting every single one of them down because they all have these trash, idiotic takes, usually doing about him getting injured or something about him being a bad player. Something to that sort of extent. And then you can see, all right, this guy probably got enough grief on the internet that he actually decided to watch that fucking game. Watch that Ravens game, right? And then the next week they're like, this guy's pretty good. He's pretty good there, buddy. Like they can't say anything else. And this was the week that Ryan Clark, that Matt Hasselbeck finally watched Lamar Jackson play. And I know that sounds so dumb. They're analysts, right? They're watching these games. Some of their takes, they're not watching. I'm a Ravens fan. I watch every single fucking play. I know exactly what the hell's going on each and every down. And so, when I hear them make a take, and it's like, that just ain't right, bruh. That is just a wrong take. So, it's about goddamn time these guys watch the game. And now there's only one group left. I watched the breakdown on Sunday night, before the Cowboys and the Eagles played. And I forget, it's like Mike Tirico, Tony Dungy. No, Tony Dungy. Is that the guy who's always there? Let me see. But then also Mike Florio and the expatriate guy, Charger guy, he was all over the game. Either way, all four of them, Mike Tirico's like, is this sustainable with Lamar? Because they went over the stats. They didn't show any highlights, just went over the stats. They're like, no, he's going to get injured. They went down the line. No, he's going to get injured. No, he's going to get injured. So, for this last group, it's going to take this Patriots game because this is going to be the Sunday night game, and they're going to watch. It's going to be a good Patriots team. The best defense Lamar has played in his whole career. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I'll definitely do a breakdown of that. We do have the bye week coming up, so I don't know how many episodes I'm going to do, but well, we'll see. We'll play it by ear, right? But I kind of still want to talk about this because, these guys, they're not watching the game. Now, how can you watch Lamar's game and say he's going to get injured? So you expect him as a quarterback to play at least 10 years, right? Make it to 32 or 31, I guess. You hope he can play more than that. But let's just say 10 years. It's a nice round, even number. If a player plays 10 years, it's more likely than not that person gets injured. Right? Brandon Carr, has he ever been injured? And he is like, wait, what? You've never been injured? And you're in your 30s? Say, what? Everyone gets injured. So I guess technically this take is right. He will get injured. Yeah, he could break his thumb jerking off in the offseason. Who the fuck knows? But when you watch him run the ball, he doesn't take the goddamn hit. And so you go to a Ryan Clark who's always saying, oh, he's going to get injured. He's, let's see what he does. I'm opinionated and I am right. That's the way the attitude that I'll get from him. And then he goes in after this game and is like, shit. What's Russell Wilson? That's his name, Russell Wilson, MVP. I don't know. What about Lamar Jackson? Because what he is doing, the way he's running, and he goes off the same way that I do. Talking about what you actually see out of this guy. And so it's just the turning, right? It's just it's crazy that people change their mind about Lamar when they watch him. It's crazy how that happens. You can look at the stats and you can have an opinion about those stats. But they don't tell the whole story. Because you could say, oh, he's running a lot. He's more likely to be injured. I mean, he's in the NFL. He's more likely to be injured in general. How many times did Joe Flacco get injured? You're talking about a fucking statue. And Russell Wilson, right? The only running quarterback to, save his body to continue to run into his later years. Watch this game. Who was getting hit? Who? What are you, a fucking owl? No. I'm watching this game and seeing that Russell Wilson is the one getting hit a shitload, right? And he's the master of this shit. He was on the ground all day. Lamar was on the ground too because he was running. But he wasn't getting hit to the ground. He's going to the ground on purpose. He's glancing to the ground. He's not taking those big shots that a Russell Wilson was. And so I just love the tink, 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 just shooting down all the doubters, right? Not even doubters, just people thinking they have the right idea, right? They know the NFL. They've been involved for so long. They have their biases. They know people inside the league. And I think, Ryan Clark and Matt Hasselbeck, they kind of had a good point when they were talking about it, because they were talking about Pete Carroll saying that, we saw him on tape. He was fast on tape, but he was faster in person. And, you get a guy like Pete Carroll, he knows defense. He's been in this league. He knows what fast is. He used to coach at USC. A lot of fast players in California. And a lot of fast players with that team. Reggie Bush and all that. So it's surprising, right? And they were talking about how even I don't even know. Where's I going with this? Yeah, so he was even saying that, Pete Carroll recognized. And they were talking about, different teams, when they're seeing this tape, and they're watching Lamar Jackson, they're still caught off guard because they're seeing it and going, yeah, well, I got a Bobby Wagner. I got these other guys on their defense. I got Jadeveon Clowney. He's not going to run around those guys like he did to this other defense. But he did. Lamar is making everyone look foolish. And he's out there just each and every single game just looking more and more comfortable, looking more and more like his college self, like his sophomore year when he won the fucking Heisman. Right? I've already did a whole episode about Lamar winning the MVP this year, and I think he's going to do it. I think this is the best year to do it because he's going to catch everybody off guard. Next year, everyone's going to know how good he is. So he's going to have to just increase even more, it's just, you're going to have like an exponential growth factor to win the MVP multiple times. But I think this is the year, he catches the league off guard. Maybe not with his play, but everyone God damn, I was wrong about him. He's just shutting everybody up because it doesn't matter. I love Lamar's ability, and now he is getting comfortable. The team, the city, everyone has this guy's back. Obviously not everybody, but you can tell everyone in that locker room has Lamar's back. Lamar is a football player, and everyone respects him for that because he is also putting his body on the line. He is not put on a pedestal. That's why, a lot of these, people with quarterbacks, I feel like other players and other players around the league, they kind of talk down to him somewhat, the fucking quarterback, ooh, because they're put way up on this fucking pedestal where everyone jerks them off and they come at all right, enough of that, but everyone's jerking off all these QBs for just being, oh yeah, he's just statuesque and killing it, and even a race thing, he's a white guy or whatever. But Lamar Jackson is more of one of the players. He's putting his body on the line, even though, as much as I've said, he's not really putting his body on the line just because of how good he is at avoiding contact. But, he's running out there with the boys. He doesn't believe himself to be above the competition. He wants the ball. He wants the team on his back. He's like, give me the pressure. Give me the rock. Let me run you to victory. Let me be a part of this. And everyone's seeing the victories roll in. Everyone enjoys his mentality. Loves how you can see he's talking to everybody, right? Joe Flacco never did that. We never saw images of him talking. And if it was always after a bad play. Never after a good play. It was just like a high five, yeah, there to go. And he was only talking to Dennis Pitta. Only talking to the other white guy on the team. And Lamar, he's chilling. He's hanging with everyone on the team. hanging out with the defensive players because they recognize how good he is. They recognize that they don't want to face this guy, right? They see it in practice. They see it on the field and like, good luck on the defense. So this is just a statement game on many levels, and every single episode ends up in a Lamar hype speech. And I wanted to go over some more stats, but it doesn't matter. We played our game, time of possession. Now, we didn't win the battle of time of possession, but there was one point, right after we got that field goal. Let me pull it up here because I remember seeing this. So we get the field goal. Then the Seahawks, they get the ball, and that's when they fumbled, and we picked up the ball and scored. They were kind of just, no. It was part of that field goal. All right, so that touchdown run we had on the 4th and 2. So that drive, it's the end of the third quarter. That drive takes up 5 minutes and 26 seconds, right? Good chunk of time. Then the Seahawks get the ball. They end up punting, but they go through to the start of the 4th quarter. Now, in the 4th quarter, our next drive is a field goal drive, and that we drove all the way down the field. That was the one where we started at the 10-yard line. We end up getting a flag, right? And we go back to the 5-yard line. So we march down the field with penalties, with all sorts of other stuff going on. 96 fucking yards and take up 9 minutes. That's game time, not actual time. That's 9 game time minutes. So 2 drives with 1 punting drive in between with the Seahawks. We took up, what is that? 14 minutes and 26 seconds. So almost a whole freaking quarter. So we get this touchdown to really put us up, right? Where were we at then? So to put us up 20-13. To really just have game in hand, just watching it live, you could see, all right, each team is taking a long time to move down the field. And so we get the ball with that commanding lead somewhat, still a 7-point game, but we have the lead and we go down, score again. I guess at the time it was 13-13. Jesus, this is so. Either way, we took up almost a whole quarter within 2 drives, right? And so when we needed it, right, when we were up, we just, sit back, coast. And I heard of a 4-minute offense, but a 15-minute offense to the point where, they're trying to play hero ball. Like the Seahawks are trying to play hero ball. And so after that long time period with the Seahawks punting and then us getting it back and us driving down 96 yards to get the field goal, that's when the Seahawks come back, trying to play hero ball and fumbling, trying to do too much. DK Metcalf, as a rookie, he was trying to switch hands with the ball, and it gets picked up by Marlon Humphrey, and he strolls in. Which Marlon Humphrey, the ball just finds him this year. I love it. I love it. And then next, they get the ball back. They drive a little bit, get a field goal, but then that's the end of the game. Then we just get the clock out, and the game ends. We had to get 1 first down, and of course, the game ends. It's 3rd and 7, and Lamar takes the ball and runs it for a first down, like a circle, right? It's just perfect. The bow on this game is Lamar running. And I want to see those totals. I want to see the average yards per carry without those kneel downs because I don't think those should count. I don't know if they do, but I know sometimes they do count as carries, right? When they look at the stat sheet, like, oh, well, this was a carry, and he has 3 extra each and every game because we've been winning. So we got to kneel down 3 times to end the clock, and I love seeing that. I hated seeing our defense on the field last. We need to stop. Well, let's just fucking calm down. Let's let Lamar have the ball. Let's see what he can do. Let's let him run it out. And even on that 3rd and 7 play, the one to get us that first down, man, he didn't have it. He didn't have the first down. But yet he, the flick of the wrist, a flick of the foot, out of nowhere, it's like, whoa, what? He just juked that guy? And it's like, these are professional athletes, bruh. These defenders, they're professional athletes. You're not supposed to be able to do this to someone who makes money with their body like that. I mean, these are professional athletes, and Lamar is running around them like they're still and it's gotten to a certain point where like at the end of games, that's where Lamar does a bunch of his damage, because all game he jukes people and it's making them look dumb. So when the defender kind of just gets there, like, okay, what are you doing? What are you doing? Oh shit! Oh shit! Oh god! No! Fuck it! Damn it! He got me again. You get got too many times in a game, and eventually you're gonna stop and be like, well, what the fuck is he gonna do this time? And then that hesitation, then boom, he's off to the races again. And he's finally started to run with the passing game, right? Scrambling for tons of yards. And I love it, man. That's how he gets his huge runs. Anytime we play a team that's in man coverage, that's going to be a huge issue for them. Lamar scrambling. And when we go against the Patriots, it's a heavy man team. So we'll see. Lamar might be able to get another 100 yards on the Patriots. I think it might be a low-scoring game. I think our defense comes in. But I'll go over that definitely in another episode. I'll do another preview. I don't know when I'm going to do that because we do have the bye week. So I will do like a picks episode this week for sure, and next week, as there is still football. But I don't know what I'm going to do with Ravens. Maybe we'll try to come up with some extra content, do some other stuff. But this was and is the biggest game that Lamar has had in his young career. This was the biggest statement that they could have made, going into Seattle and winning with a dominating score. So this was truly just a great week of football, killing it with my picks. 13-1 so far, or 12-1 so far, depending on the Patriots game tonight. But, looking good. In mid-season form, I feel like I'm getting better with the podcasting kind of stuff, talking about it. This is an hour-long episode. I paused it just the one time to get some water. Not too many crazy breaks in there, but this is what I love. This is Ravens football, and this is my passion. I don't know why. It seems like there's something wrong. Like, why do you like football this much? I don't know. I can talk about it as long as I want. Like, I can literally go all day talking about football. I don't know why. I just enjoy it. I played football back in the day, but it's not like I was like, oh yeah, I was a 3-star athlete in high school, got all the bitches. No, I didn't even play in high school. I played up to high school. I was too small. I was a late bloomer. Now it's like, I could have fucking played in high school. But no, I was way too small in high school. I didn't go through puberty till like the end of 11th grade. So that was just a bummer. But I enjoy football, and I could talk about it for ages, and especially after a fucking win like this. Yes, baby. Yes, I could go on for hours. Not gonna do that. Later on, I will be joining Coach Evans with Sip to Tally Films. We'll be joining him, so you can go ahead and check him out. Tonight he's going to be going live at, I believe, 6 o'clock. I don't know if that's Eastern. I don't know if that's regular, but you can go check YouTube now. You can see. And if you follow me, you most likely do follow him. He does a lot of film breakdown, like real nerdy football nerdy stuff. If you're into that sort of thing, if you're like me, if you're like a lot of people, if you are craving some Raven, right? It's not a podcast, it's a way of life, right? So if you are craving some Raven, then you will enjoy his stuff for sure. He's a good dude to talk to. Love bouncing ideas off of him because he is kind of a coach. He is an offensive coordinator for a high school. Football is in his blood. So enjoy talking to him. I'm more of just an ideas guy, theories kind of guy, predicting who's going to win kind of guy, right? But focused on the Ravens. So either way, man. Let me know what you think. Did you enjoy this win? Because I know I did. Let me know in the comments section how you feel about this. Please like it, comment, subscribe if you are on YouTube. But, if you are on a podcasting app, thanks for, downloading on iTunes or Google Play or Spotify. That's awesome. I love podcasts. That's why I wanted to create one. It's very specific towards Ravens. There's already a ton of them, but this is more of a fan one, right? And I'm not obligated to do anything for anybody. This is just a hobby. So I can say, fuck, shit, dick, cunt, you bloody cunt. I can say that. I don't give a fuck. I enjoy it. And I'm just a huge fan. So I am very fan oriented. I'm not trying to get, I'm not trying to be perfect with everything. I just am a huge fan and treat this podcast as such. I'll be emotional. I'll be unemotional. I don't know. It just depends. I don't even know what I'm going on about. But really, really enjoyed this win. So please, download on a podcasting app if you want to. If you want to lock your phone, put it in your pocket. Listen to some great Ravens content. Working on that. Please download it there. I get most of my downloads there, but I also get a ton of views on. I mean, not a ton, like 30 an episode, which is better than it used to be. I'm up to like 75 subscribers. Like a month ago, I was at like 50, and it took me forever to get to 50. So things are moving, things are shaking. Not really. I mean, it's still a hobby. If I ever start making money, if I get like an offer to do a sponsor, that would be crazy. Not back in the day, at the first couple episodes, I would just make my own sponsors. I made a bunch of them. I just realized there's too much, not too much, but I'd just forget to come up with them, and so I wouldn't do it. It wouldn't be a consistent thing. Maybe I'll bring that back. I doubt it. I can't really do it too much because I was sponsored, air quotes sponsored by Chick-fil-A and McDonald's, and all I did is really just shit on them. You love chicken and hate the gays, then come on down for some Chick-fil-A's. That's it. Like, I'm sponsored by Chick-fil-A. They were giving out a new priest sauce. That was the whole bit, was that they were advertising the new promotion for a priest sauce, which is just mayonnaise and pre-cum that you can put on your chicken sandwich. And there's going to be like a priest at every climbing gym to take pictures with your kids. And it's, oh, fuck. They could come after me, right? I'm obviously really small, and that's not going to happen at this point. But, you understand. You get the point. Like, it's somewhat offensive, and being mean to a corporation. And corporations don't fucking play. I even did one. It was an Anne Frank erotic novel. They found some extra pages in her diary where she wrote a romance novel. But it was like, triple X romance, But either way. So that's, that's going to do it. I will try to keep you posted each and every episode about where I'm headed with all this stuff as I end up doing. So I'm just going to say that I'll do that. I'm going to keep coming at you with my thoughts on this Ravens games. I'm sure I have tons more breaks and takes on this game. I'm sure I'll think of them and maybe say them at a later date, or just forget about it completely, entirely. And so I will leave you with that. This is an hour-long episode. Shit, man. It's a good win when you can talk about the game for more than an hour. You can't just throw your arms up and say, I don't know. I don't know, bro. I don't know. No, I do know, and I know these Ravens are good. So tough sled of games coming up. But, we get this win, it makes this schedule, reviewable, I guess. We can take these teams, right? We got this, baby. So, all together, Ravens Nation, we'll get these and go Ravens.